This presentation is on hormone regulation. The role of regulating hormones in sexual response is not a clear one. Basically, we know that testosterone acts as an activator for desire in both men and women, and we've learned that men have a lot more testosterone than women, although society's expectation and culture have some factors involved in this as well. We also know that hormones have organizing and activating effects. The activity we'll do in class will help demonstrate this. And sexual arousal and responsiveness is controlled by both hormone and societal factors. Testosterone in men and androgen in women, it's the same thing, it's just two different names. Men produce 6 to 8 milligrams all the time. They're very consistent, it's very high level. Women don't even produce 1 milligram, that is 0.5, a half of a milligram of testosterone. Transgender is another name for transsexual. Basically, it's a gender identity disorder where the person feels trapped inside the wrong body. We'll be having an assignment. I'll be posting a YouTube video on a young girl whose name is Jazz, and then also some information on the man who was a woman who had a sex change, and he actually has had 3 children. He kept his uterus and ovaries because he thought someday he might like to have a child. And he was married. His wife could not have children, so the two of them chose together to have him artificially inseminated, and he had 3 children. So we'll be having some information about that in the class and give you an opportunity to respond to that. These pictures are not really good, sorry about that, but the top shows what a male with the penis looked like and how after he did the sex change, what that looked like. This used to be a vagina, and this person wanted to be a male, so they then had a penis surgically constructed. Basically, there probably is a semi-rigid rod inserted in this penis so that they would be able to have intercourse. This is a picture of some surgically constructed breasts. This is something I should have said at the prior slides. If somebody's going to have a gender change, they need to live like that person for an entire year before they actually do the surgery. That way they can change their name, and they often say, you know, if it's a female name, try to change it to something that would be similar in the opposite gender. So Andrew could be Andrea, an example of that. It would be a major thing, and if you lived like that person for a year before you actually did the surgery change, then you could decide if that was really something you wanted to go through. This slide talks about males if they are castrated. Now, this is different from just the circumcision, because the circumcision removes just the foreskin. Castration removes the testes, and yes, they will have a gradual loss of desire. Some examples throughout history and culture of males who have chosen to have their testes removed would be the castratos. Those would be males that sing in all boys choirs. They have beautiful high voices, and in prior history, especially in Europe, those boys wanted to keep that high voice, so they would choose to be castrated so that they would not go through puberty and would keep that high voice. They did realize, though, when they got older and got married, that they did not have their sex drive, and so they then decided this probably wasn't the best thing to do. So they just let those boys have that opportunity to sing in those all-boys choir until their voice changes. Cancer treatment, if you had testicular cancer, it would be a good thing to have hopefully just one testis removed, or both if you had to. If they were both cancerous, way better to have the testes removed than to die from testicular cancer. Male eunuchs, in early biblical times, there were men that guarded the women's quarters, and they didn't want these men to sexually abuse the women, so they had them castrated. And the men, it was a very prestigious responsibility, and so they chose to have this done. And then in Europe, if you are convicted of a rape, you are castrated. So I think that is fair punishment. The only thing is I'd want to be for sure that that person did commit that crime, because if he didn't, that would be cruel punishment. And then hypogonadism is the word Hypo meaning low gonad, the testes producing the testosterone. So low levels of testosterone, yes, you will have a loss of desire. Females are sexually responsive during all phases of the menstrual cycle, although during their period they may not be as sexually responsive as others. Most couples don't see that as a likely time to have sex, although they could be sexually responsive, and there's no reason why they couldn't. After menopause, they can still have desire. In fact, some women are more desirous because they cannot get pregnant. A woman has her ovaries removed, she still can have desire. It's only after they have the adrenal glands that they would have the loss of desire, because it's the adrenal glands that produce the androgen.